Welcome to my pop prompt party. Let me make sure my phone is off. I'm so glad you guys are here. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to come and learn about ChatGPT and prompting. I'm not gonna, that's me. My name is Dr. Marcella Wilson, and welcome to the prompt party where we're gonna be focused on social media. All right, so I want everybody to stick around to the end because I got a gift for you guys. So everybody do the happy dance. Do the happy dance because I got something very special at the end for you guys. Also, I love this gift. Does anybody know what TV show this little video is from? Just type it in the chat. Type it in the chat. If you guys know, let me see. Let me take a look at the chat. And anybody knows what TV show this is from? Okay. So this is from the TV show, as it says up top, Severance. And Severance season 1 came on 3 years ago, and the new season 2, starts tomorrow. So I'm very happy to see a second season of Severance. If you followed me for a little while on social media or my emails, you guys know I love pop culture. I love streaming. I'm always watching TV shows and stuff and movies, and this is a great one. So if you're looking for a great show to stream, try Severance. All right, but I won't dwell too much. We're here today to work. If you don't know a little bit about me, my name is Dr. Marcella Wilson. I do have a bachelor's in journalism, master's in computer science, and master's and PhD in computer science. I know that's a big jump from journalism to computer science. Maybe one day over drinks, I will share with you how I made that jump. Anyway, don't want to dwell on myself because we're going to be prompting today, and I'm so excited. So I've done a lot of press. That's me on the news. I don't want to play this, but let's get to what we're talking about. So today we're going to be talking about prompts. So why are prompts important? Why does it matter? So this is a quote from President Biden, and he actually said this yesterday at his farewell speech. I don't know if you guys watched on TV yesterday at around 8 o'clock. He gave the farewell address. It was on all the news stations, and this was one of the things that he said. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's talking about my stuff. So he said, artificial intelligence is the most consequential technology of our time, perhaps all time. Nothing offers more profound possibilities and risk for our economy and our security, our society, for humanity. It's that deep. So AI is the most amazing thing that ever happened to us. Everybody, we should all be blessed and so fortunate and happy and doing that dance that I showed you in the previous slide, that we live in the time when artificial intelligence is created. Why? Because it's going to make your life so much easier. It's going to allow you to do things quicker, faster, and cheaper than you ever could do. Right? And one of my mantras that you'll hear me say over and over again, I tell my students all the time, my students who work with me, is let the machines do what the machines do. The machines can do things faster than you can. So let them do it. Don't work hard, work smarter. So that's why they matter, right? Why do prompts matter? Because it's like having your own, well, ChatGPT is kind of my AI tool of choice. You can use whatever you want. I like ChatGPT, but it's gonna save you time, improve efficiency. ChatGPT is like your own personal assistant that never sleeps, never takes a break. So it is wonderful. All right. But the catch is, I'm trying to see if anyone else is coming in. Okay. The catch is with ChatGPT and artificial intelligence in general is that ChatGPT is only as good as the human using it, right? So in order to fully harness its power or to use it till its fullest capabilities, or for it to benefit you, you have to know how to use it. So let me ask a question. Let me throw something out there and you guys can type this in the chat. How many people have used ChatGPT and it didn't give you what you want, or you thought, why am I using this? This is not right. Give me a yes in the chat if you've tried that. Let's see. Yeah. Leonora says, I have. It's great. It is great. Let's see what else we got. Great results. Good. Rose is getting great results. So the key to unleashing ChatGPT's or artificial intelligence's power is to learn how to prompt. And I'm sure we all have gone to ChatGPT and just typed stuff in. But there are some nuances and training. You have to learn how to prompt, right? I just want to let you guys know that there is a new job, like with artificial intelligence, a new job market or new job sector has come on the horizon. It's called prompt engineering. I don't know if you guys have heard this. Prompt engineering makes over six figures, right? So prompt engineering is a highly sought after skill. And it's not just as simple as typing, hey, give me some good restaurant recommendations or give me a recipe for butter chicken. There's a skill to learning how to prompt. Why? Because when you learn how to prompt correctly, you can unleash the power of ChatGPT. So, and again, how does that help us? It helps us save time, improve efficiency. It helps us with tasks like social media, email marketing, right? It helps us do all of that quicker, faster, cheaper than we ever could, right? So I know that I have ChatGPT do tons of work for me, and it gives me more time to watch Severance on TV. So as we are about to go into the learning phase, all right. So first, before I get into the prompting, I'm just going to take a couple of minutes to go over 3 key elements of an effective prompt. So again, if you guys are new to me, if you're new here, I am a university professor. So I teach computer science. So I like to teach, and I like to start from the basic and make sure everybody is on board. So let's talk about 3 key elements of an effective prompt. And then I'm going to go to ChatGPT and we're going to start prompting. I'm going to start showing some examples, and I'm going to ask you guys some stuff. All right. So I want you guys taking notes, because here we go. All right. This is the golden rule. Number 1, the first most important key element of a prompt is you have to be specific. You've got to be. Why? Because you've got to tell ChatGPT exactly what you want. Exactly. So when I first went to college studying computer science, and I was learning how to program, the first assignment they gave us was to write the directions to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And then they had, we did that. And then they had another student follow our directions. And we realized, boy, we left out a lot of stuff, right? So again, with ChatGPT, you have to tell it exactly what you want, because it doesn't know what you want. You have to be very specific. So remember, we're thinking of ChatGPT like an assistant where you're telling it what to do. You also have to include context, right? That is also important. So you want to help ChatGPT understand your business, right? You could have a jewelry business. That's great. What kind of jewelry do you sell? Do you sell to teenagers? I have 3 teen girls, including a set of twins. That's why I'm a little crazy. But you have to give it context. Are you selling just turquoise jewelry, right? Give it context. Last element of an effective prompt is you have to, I don't know if I should have said experiment with tone and style, but you also have to, you have to tell ChatGPT the tone and the style, right? Because you want ChatGPT to match your business voice, if that makes sense, right? We got some messages here. So so ChatGPT can speak in your brand voice. You can train ChatGPT how to talk like you, how talk like your voice, talk like your business. So I mean, that's a little beyond what we're going to talk about today, but you can have ChatGPT do all of that. Okay, so remember your three key elements when you're writing a prompt: specificity, context, and tone and style. Okay, and with that, I'm going to shift over to ChatGPT and I'm going to show you demos and examples of all of this. So, I will not get into all of the features of ChatGPT. I do have a video on that, and that's not the purpose of this training. But let me show you the first example. First example is to be specific, right? So let me show you of an example of a vague prompt that I don't want you to do, that does not show specificity. Okay, here we go. Write a product description. Assume you guys all have businesses, for a tote bag. All right, so AI is giving me, this is so funny. So AI is giving me this description of a tote bag, and it's called the AI Enthusiast Tote Bag, right? Carry your genius wherever. Why is ChatGPT giving me this? Because they know that I'm always on here talking about AI. I'm always getting help with AI, right? So this is an example of when you use AI as a paid feature. Excuse me, you use ChatGPT as a paid feature. But I want you to look here. I said, write a product description. This is what I did a little bit earlier. And it says, sure, please provide details about the product you'd like the description for, such as its purpose, features, benefits, and target audience. What is ChatGPT really asking me? It says, hey, I need some specificity. Please be specific about the product. Please include some context, right? So you don't want to be vague with what you're asking for, because it's not going to give you what you want, right? So you have to be specific. So going back to this is what AI gave me, right? But what if I don't want an AI enthusiast tote bag? What if I'm starting a new business, right? But AI and ChatGPT gave me what it thought I wanted. But see, I have to be specific. Because I might not want that, right? So I'm going to write a product description for a eco-friendly tote bag targeting millennials. And let's see what it comes up. Now it completely changes, right? Because before, ChatGPT was giving me what it thought I wanted. But when I was specific with it, then it gave me a lot of information, right? Eco chic tote. And it lists out features that millennials will love: sustainable materials, minimalist design, carry it all sides. Then it tells why it is a must-have. And it gives a closing paragraph. All right. So specificity. All right. So the next thing we learned, so that was an example of when you don't give ChatGPT specifics versus when you are specific with ChatGPT. All right. So now let's talk about context. We talked about giving it context so it can understand your business, right? So when the context is what it was asking before here, right? It was saying purpose, features, benefits, target audience, right? And I think, to be honest, specificity and context, they don't overlap, because you might be thinking, well, don't they overlap? But you can say this: the context that I need this eco tote is that you can say, I am having a flash sale. Please write an Instagram caption for this, and I'll just copy eco-friendly tote bag. And you can copy and paste in ChatGPT. So the context is, I'm having a flash sale, right? And I need an Instagram caption. So let's see what it comes up with. Flash sale alert, ready to upgrade your style and save the planet. So it gives me emojis, because that's all over Instagram. Also, call to action, swipe now, because saving the planet never looks so good. And then look at the bottom. I didn't even ask for it and it gave it to me. It's giving me hashtags for my Instagram post so that this can be searchable, so that I can get more eyes on this Instagram post. So it actually wrote a Instagram caption that I can just, if I wanted to, if I didn't have any issues with this, that I can copy and paste directly into Instagram, or I can add things like, maybe I don't want to tap the link in the bio. Maybe maybe I'm using automation, right? And they can type in the comments flash and buy it, right? Or maybe, I want to put the price here, like get it for $10.99 or something like that. Or maybe right here, I want to put, sale ends Friday, right? So I never recommend, when I talk to my students, I never recommend just copying and pasting from ChatGPT, or just using ChatGPT carte blanche, right? Like not editing or reading over the text, because I want you to put yourself into it, right? But this is pretty good. So this is an example how we used a prompt. We used context, and the context was, we're creating an Instagram caption for a flash sale. Now, let's look at how we can use prompts, because remember, prompts, you also want to include tone and style. Tone really is like, it can be like, who am I speaking to, or what is my voice, right? So I can say something like, for this flash sale, please write a sales email in a professional tone. Professional, corporate, can I spell? Tone, right? So the tone or the style I'm using is corporate and professional, right? Because so remember, before we were talking to millennials. Millennials don't sound corporate or professional, right? But I just want to show you what ChatGPT, right, can do, right? Because this is number 3 in the key elements of an effective prompt. The first one is to be specific. Second one is context. Now we are doing tone and style. So let's look at it. Let's see an email. So the context, actually I did 2 in 1, right? The context was a sales email, and the tone is corporate and professional, right? So look at elevate your style, protect the planet. We're excited to announce an exclusive flash sale. So it's written it in a professional corporate manner. And you may not like it. Again, I never recommend just using whatever ChatGPT prints out. But I will say, the more you use ChatGPT and the more it gets to know you, the better and better it gets in anticipating and giving you what you want. So, but I also really, really like you to inject yourself in it, right? So let's do this. So you can I recommend that you experiment. So you can do this and say, well, you can tell, talk to ChatGPT like an assistant. And you can say something like, can you please rewrite this email for I always spell kindergartners wrong. I'll say 5-year-olds, 5-year-old girls, 5-year-old children, I'll just say, right? That's going to give me a different tone. It's going to give me a different tone. Hey, guess what? We're having a big sale on our super cool Eco Tote Bag. It's a special bag made to carry all your favorite things like toys, books, and snacks. It helps keep the earth happy. This bag is awesome. All right. So you get the idea, right? So just as a quick recap, I gave it a prompt. I was not specific, so it gave me what I wanted. In the computer science world, this is called hallucinating data, because it's giving you what you think you want. You don't want that. I got specific with it. eco-friendly tote bag targeting millennials, right? Then it was able to give me what I want. Now I gave it some context, flash sale, Instagram caption. Next, I gave it tone, professional, corporate. And then I revised it for, 5-year-olds, which is a different tone. All right. So understand that ChatGPT can do whatever you want, but you have to tell it what you can do. All right, that's enough about me. I'm going to move it to you guys. Let's have an interactive activity. I want you guys, I'm going to do some prompts on the fly based on you guys' business. So, what I want you to do is in the chat, just write a problem that you have in your business or a challenge or something you need to do. Write it in the chat. I'm going to pick one and see if I can write some prompts to solve it. So someone says, will the replay be available? No, I am recording this. These are live, and I like them to be live because I feel that people get the most benefit out of being there live. I am recording it. Maybe I'll just send it to you guys because you guys were here. But right now, I do want you guys to take some time and I do know I talk fast, right? I do talk fast because I'm trying to like not talk all day because I can talk about this all day. Okay, so I want to write prompts for you guys. So take a second in the chat, write a challenge that you're having in your business or something that you need done in your business. And I'll see if I'll pick one and I can see if I can write some prompts for you. So if no one writes anything, then I'll give it a second. I don't know if they're coming up. I mean, nobody wants me to write a prompt for them. I keep running into the chat resetting. Okay, Peggy, I'm just gonna unmute you and you can tell me what you want. I think you're unmute. You might have to unmute yourself, Peggy.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Okay, I'm trying to put this guide together and to compile the information that I generated to put into a guide. And when I ask it to compile all the information, it just keeps giving me portions of it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I had to start asking, okay, why are you giving me just portions when I ask you for this stuff, right? And so then it says it's an example. Okay, so now I rewrite the prompt and tell it to compile the information without the example. And then it comes back and tells me that the parameters are different. And
Yeah.
so I have to go back in and say, okay, like every little thing has to be found out for number one and find out how the chat GPT works. And then I have to go back in and keep telling the prompt what to do. And I'm just it just is frustrating. Like, I mean, I even said this is frustrating. How come you just can't do what you say you're gonna do? Why do you just keep doing this? I
Okay.
mean, I even asked the chat that. And he told me he was sorry.
Well, Peggy, first of all, thank you for being here. Thank you for asking that wonderful question because a lot of people encounter that. Obviously, I can't write a guide for you, um,
Right.
but I will tell you the problem.
Okay.
So the problem is that ChatGPT. Well, first of all, you you have to learn how to prompt correctly, right? Because
Right.
just on basic prompts, you can't get ChatGPT to write a guide or write a book chapter. Like it's not going to do that because
Right.
if you want to think of it, ChatGPT is a text editor, and it basically wants to give you the next. It wants to predict the next word.
Okay.
That's how I want you to. It's really really basic, right? So if I type in, and I know you may think I'm not answering your question, but just hold on. If I
Okay.
in twinkle twinkle little, everybody, what's the next word? What comes after twinkle twinkle?
Star. A little star.
So if I type that into ChatGPT, twinkle, twinkle, little, it's going to complete that because ChatGPT is predicting what comes next. I want everybody to let that marinate. And it may take a day or two, but ChatGPT, its whole job is to predict what comes next, whether it be a word or a paragraph, but it's not trained to spit out a book chapter. So you have to learn how to make it do that. You have to learn how to automate, to create prompts to automate that, because it's only looking really to give you the next word or the next sentence or the next paragraph. So you're asking it, so it can do that, but it has to be automated into a series of prompts, right? And you have to know how to do it so it doesn't like hallucinate data, or it remembers what you wrote before, what you wrote initially. So I know that may be kind of convoluted. Does that make sense?
Well, I'll just give you quick what I'm doing. I have 7 herbs trying to get information on each one of the herbs. I did each one separately.
Right.
And then I asked, can you put this into a cohesive guide for me? And it said yes. And then this is where I'm having the problems because it just I have no idea why it won't do.
Because right. So
So do I have to say each one like, do I have to go in and write a chapter for the GPT to pick up so that, of all the herbs that I just did?
no, it can write all of that for you. You just have to learn how to write prompts correctly that it'll compile it for you and put in the document. And that is beyond the scope of what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to teach
Uh-huh.
basic prompts.
Yeah, I know. When no one was asking a question, I thought I'd just throw that out. Okay.
Okay. So do you sell prompt? What do you do with your herbs? You sell them or?
I have a blend that I want to get put on the market.
Okay. So you want to put it on the market to sell as what? Like in a GNC store or something? Like what?
Well, that's a good question.
Okay.
I was first making it and was going to make the restaurants, have it be in the restaurants, right? And in the test market group, everybody like really liked it. So I thought, well, okay, I'll just put it out to the public. And then I thought, well, if I put it out to the public, it would really be nice if they got information on each one of the herbs, maybe some traditional folklore medicine, maybe how to cultivate it, maybe how to, do different things with that particular herb. So I generated that for the 7 herbs.
Okay.
And yeah,
So I think, yeah. So let's do this because I don't want to get off on a tangent and I don't want to lose
right,
it here.
right.
Let's just say you are selling an herb, I don't know, for migraines. So
Okay. Okay, let's just say that. Okay.
this, you can say, write a Facebook post promoting a new line of herbs targeting working moms. And let me see, I got to use a tone. Please use a friendly tone. Did I spell that right? Friendly tone. All right. Busy moms, meet your new kitchen besties. Hey, super moms, we know your days are packed with to-do lists, snack prep. Okay. So here, this is a good example, right?
Yeah.
So this AI, so ChatGPT is assuming that I'm talking about cooking herbs, right? Because I missed the first element of a effective prompt, which is specificity. Um, so I can say, can you please rewrite this email promoting herbs to alleviate, I don't know if I wrote that right, migraines. Specificity.
I see. Okay. Okay.
Four, so let's see what it gives us now. Natural relief from migraines, discover the power of herbs, still talking to moms. If migraines are disrupting your day to day life, we're here to help. And it starts listing out herbs as giving us limited time offers and all that kind of stuff like that. So here, in this case, when I wasn't specific about the type of herbs, it just hallucinated data, right? It assumed that I want herbs for healthy meals that my family will love, right?
Right.
Specific with it, alleviating migraines. Here we go. All right. So these are just really, really good. And so I want to thank you, Peggy, for letting me use you.
No problem.
I'm going to mute you. Thank you. Anybody else? Because I have a few quick minutes till we get to the bonus. Anybody else have a business? Let me see if I have the chat. All right. Mina says how to get all the tasks organized that need to happen to manage the business effectively so that I can figure out what can be delegated to a virtual assistant. All right, Mina, I'm going to unmute you for a second. Let me find you. You probably have to unmute yourself. So first of all, Mina, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. So Mina, you have a virtual assistance business, a business where you tell me more about your business. Did you unmute yourself, Mina? I see you're unmuted, but I cannot hear you. Okay, so unfortunately, I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, Mina. Welcome.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I'm driving, so I'm trying to be hands-free, but clearly the car's not working.
Be safe now. Be safe.
Yeah, I am. So yeah, I was just thinking for people who have a business and they're a solopreneur and they're trying to get their business up and going, but they may also work full time. And so trying to figure out all the things that need to happen that can move their business forward, and then listing that out, and then things that could be like some of those things could be delegated to a virtual assistant for help.
Okay.
So I don't know if that makes sense.
It does make sense. Makes sense. And that's why I wanted to have you just explain a little bit more. So what you want ChatGPT is common to what people want. I'm saying that wrong. Let me just say it. Now you guys know I love all of you and I don't want to hurt anybody's feeling, but sometimes we put too much in prompts. So this is kind of like Peggy, where she's like, write a guide. It's not going to do all that in one prompt. One of the other things that are really important to prompts, which I did not mention today, because this is not like a course, is brevity. You have to, ChatGPT can do whatever you want, but not in one prompt, if that makes sense, right? You can't ask it to write War and Peace in one prompt. It's not going to give it to you. So here's where, again, learning how to write prompts will be effective. So I think that's why a lot of people get frustrated, because they just put like, I needed to, do this, get all the tasks organized and stuff like that. And ChatGPT doesn't give you what you want, because again, it's looking for just the next word or the next sentence or the next paragraph. It's not going to give you a business plan, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So if you are just looking at this.
So what I need to.
How do I get all the tasks organized that need to happen? So managing business effect. So first of all, what businesses are these like offices, or?
Could I say, look at this list and tell me if there's things that are missing, and ChatGPT would fill it in, or would I need to have the whole comprehensive list?
You can do both.
Okay.
What you can't do is what you wrote in the chat.
Got it. Yep, that makes sense.
But even with that, you have to you kind of have to automate it. You kind of have to know what your business is, know your tasks, and you kind of have to train it.
Okay.
Do that. But I guess this is also a great example. So Mina, thank you for putting yourself out there. This is also a great example, because you can't assume that ChatGPT knows what your business is.
Right.
what tasks it needs to do, and it just can't do everything at once. And that's why a lot of people get frustrated with it. So, um, so I thank you. So what I would do if I were you, and I don't know, I'm just going off the cuff.
Sure.
I would say, and just for the sake of everyone else listening here, I would say that you are running a virtual assistant business. Please give me remember, specificity list of 5 things that I need to manage my business, right? Let's see what it gives us. And it gives me a little, here are 5 essential things. Client management, you need a system, time tracking tools, media outreach plan, effective communication tools, and financial management system. So I'm not sure. So I know maybe you want something to give to the virtual assistant itself, and you can do that. But then they would need to know like type of business and all kind of stuff like that.
Okay.
But I just kind of wanted to reduce it down so that I could give you something and just to show how ChatGPT works, right? Because when you can write an effective prompt, right, you give it you're specific with it, you give it context. I have a virtual assistant business. I need 5 things to manage my business. It can give you what you want when you are specific with it. You give it context and you give it tone. Now, in this case, we didn't need media, but you could say something like, what if I wanted to please write a Facebook post for my business on these 5 things? Use I'm just going to say comical tone, just so you guys can see the difference, right? Oh, my computer. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's not freezing up. So it's going to write a Facebook post, 5 things you absolutely need to manage a virtual assistant business. Trust me, I've tried without them. So, it's telling little jokes. We got emojis, and it's given the 5 things, but in each one, it's like a little joke, little jokey joke. So again, I've given it some context, some specificity, and tone. All right, so I know that wasn't everything you wanted, but I think what you want is just a little bit beyond one prompt, and it's a little bit beyond what we're doing here. I'm just trying to show you guys how to write prompts. I would suggest training on how to actually write prompts. And I'm not just saying that because that's what I do, but I want for you and Peggy. Let's see who we got here. We got Greta, Kristen, Lanita, Rose is here, Susanna, VC is here, and I'm gonna mute you, Mina. I want for all of you to be able to use ChatGPT effectively, to not be frustrated by it, to not be like, why is it not doing what I want it to do? Why is it taking me longer to get what I want? Why is Marcella saying that she saves 10 hours every week when I'm wasting time? The bottom line is that it's because it begins with learning how to prompt, right? And it's a process. So I'm going to start typing. I'm going into professor mode again. So ChatGPT can do whatever you ask it to do, but the caveat is you have to learn how to prompt. Cannot type. It can't do everything in one prompt, right? So we saw that with Mina and Peggy. You can't just ask it to write a guide or to handle all this stuff. It can't do that. I mean, you can, but you have to learn how to automate the prompts. You have to learn how to do it. Because remember, what also we learned to do is prompts need brevity. We also learned that prompts are looking for the next, whether it's word, sentence, or paragraph. I talk about that a lot in my courses. Because if you understand how ChatGPT is built, then it's going to make a lot of sense on how to prompt, right? So the prompts are just making predictions, right? Making predictions on what it thinks should appear next. That's it. That's why when I wrote Twinkle, Twinkle Little, it wrote star. Because when people normally write Twinkle, Twinkle Little, star comes next, right? And remember when I started off, three key, did I say? Three key elements. That's what I said. Three key elements of an effective prompt, right? You can write any old kind of prompt, right? You can write a vague prompt, you can write any type of prompt. But if you want it to be effective, you have to be specific. You have to add context and the tone or the voice. Remember, I said, hey, rewrite this email if you're talking to 5-year-olds, or rewrite this in a professional tone. We want to give context, right? Since we're talking about social media today, the context, Peggy, you writing all over my board. If you want context, you have to tell it, hey, I need this for an Instagram post. I need this for a flash sale. Does that make sense to you guys? All right, so this was very helpful to me. Hopefully you guys have learned something, but this was really helpful to me because I think sometimes I assume everybody knows how to write prompts, but it was interesting seeing that Mina and Peggy kind of had the same problem, right? Of just wanting to do everything in one prompt, and that just doesn't happen. I hope you found this helpful. And if you have found this helpful, imagine having a full strategy to plan a full month, right? Full month of social media posts, right? So in minutes, right? So you can do that. So that's what I'm going to be teaching. How many people would like to learn how to write a month's worth of social media posts in minutes? Type a 3 in the chat. I feel like, yeah, because let me tell you something. Back in the day when I started my business, because I used to have a Shopify store, the whole nine, I used to sell on Amazon. Social media was the bane of my existence. It took up so much time. So I don't know if any of you guys are social media managers, but if you have a social media manager, you can fire them. So let me just say, you might see my kids in the back because I hear them. They're just coming in from school. All right, so I am going to have a webinar next week, and the webinar is called, I'm always coming up with these titles. So I want you to get your free gift. I've forgotten about your free gift. I'm gonna put it in the chat. So I put it in the chat. It's called How to Create a Month's Worth of Social Media Content in 30 Minutes. And I have the link. So my free gift to you guys, let me tell you a little bit more about the webinar. So it's going to be a full strategy to plan and create a month's worth of social media in just minutes. In the webinar, we will dive into how to use ChatGPT to create a complete content calendar and write posts that drive engagement and sales, because that's why we in business, right? Write posts that drive engagements and sales. So I'm going to have, so let me just say that what I showed you today in this webinar is just the tip of the, well, it's not a webinar. What I did today was a prompt party. It was just demoing stuff. It's just the tip of the iceberg, right? In the webinar, I will show a workflow. What we did today was just a starting point, right? But if you want to go into a deeper dive, I want you to come to my webinar, right? I think today was helpful for all of us because this is the starting point, and this is the opening up of thinking about prompting differently, right? So let me type in the bonuses that I have for you. So the bonuses are if you sign up for the webinar within the next 24 hours, okay? The first thing that you are going to get, right, one is my social media prompt pack. I'm just going to move this here, make it bigger so everybody can see it. I don't know, Peggy, you drawing on my stuff. Peggy, all right. So your social media prompt pack. What is my social media prompt pack? You're going to get 15 ready to use prompts for social media to drive sales, create engagement, right? I've written those prompts for you. 15 ready to use prompts, and I will give you just because I like y'all and I'm so happy that y'all joined me today, I'm going to give you the Canva templates, which are the images. And you can, I should say, editable images. Editable. They're the editable images, right? So if social media is the bane of your existence, like it was for me, you can get started with 15 posts right now. But again, you can use these prompts to write captions, brainstorm ideas, plan your campaigns. But so I can get you started. But the true power is knowing how to write prompts yourself, right? That is the true power, because I can't be here to write prompts for you every day and to get ChatGPT to do what you have to do. You have to learn how to prompt. But I can get you started, right? I can write some prompts for you. Now, the second bonus is the best, I think. The second bonus, so I wrote all these down. Let me get my exact wording, is a live prompt review session. I'll say that again. If you sign up for my webinar today, which I'm having next Thursday at the same time, you will get access. You will be invited to my live prompt review session, where I'm going to help you personally fine tune your ChatGPT prompts to do things in your business. So this is a one-time opportunity to get real-time feedback and level up your skills. So what that is, if you sign up, I'm going to send out a form where I'm going to say, hey, kind of something similar to what we did today, right? I'm going to say, what's your business? What's a challenge? What's something you need done? And I'm going to have you write a potential prompt. And then I'm going to come back and say, I'm going to help you write the prompt, rewrite it or revise it or whatever, so that that prompt can do exactly what you need it to do, right? So I'm going to help you write prompts exactly for your business. This is a live prompt session. I'm not going to be recording it. It's only going to be people who sign up today as a thank you for signing up. But it's only lasts for the next 24 hours. I understand that people hire me to write prompts for their business, and they pay me a lot of money to do that. So me writing prompts for you, it's only going to be like one or two. It's not going to be like a whole system. But me writing one or two prompts to do maybe like one thing in your business, like that's worth a lot of money. I'm not trying to pump myself up, but I do get paid to do that. So, but even if you don't take advantage of the bonuses, I still would love for you to come back next week to the webinar and learn how to create a month's worth of social media content. What I don't want you to do is make the mistake that, hey, I don't really need to learn how to prompt. I can just type what I need in the ChatGPT and it's going to give me what I want. Why? Because hey, ChatGPT can make mistakes. Did y'all know that? One of the things I do is I train my students how to write prompts so that there's no mistakes, there's no errors, right? ChatGPT can hallucinate. I don't know if I'm writing that. Data. It can give you data that's wrong. Did y'all know that? ChatGPT can give you data that is wrong. VC, I'm excited for you too. I'm glad you're excited. ChatGPT, you have to learn how to use it effectively. ChatGPT is not perfect. It's not a mind reader, but you have to learn how to use it. And then what I really want is for you guys to learn how to prompt so that you can, ride off into the sunset. I read about AI a lot, and this is kind of like the dawn of a new generation. And really, the future millionaires, billionaires, trillionaires, the difference is really going to be between those who use AI and those who don't. It's going to be that basic. So I want to applaud you guys for learning this, taking the time to learn this. Because as I said in my first slide, what Joe Biden, President Joe Biden said as he's leaving the office, leaving the White House, he said that AI is the most consequential consequential technology of our time, perhaps of all time. If you can just learn a little bit, that is more than the average person out there. So what I don't want you to think is you don't have to learn, you don't have to buy some software. And I see it everywhere. AI infused, AI driven, AI this. You don't have to buy some software that's run by AI. All you have to do is learn how to prompt. That's it. AI software to do whatever you need to do is basically saying, I'm going to prompt for you. No, you learn, you get the power. It's a skill that can make you millions. I don't know about y'all, but I'm trying to get my coins. So I only said I was going to be here for an hour today. I am so thankful for each one of you that have showed up today. Visa, VC, Susanna, Rose, Peggy, Lanita, Greta, and those who had to leave. Thank you so much for showing up today. I hope that you can join me next week and that you can be a part of my live prompt review session where we can work more on refining prompts for your business. I hope you can join me for the webinar next week where I can show you more about how to create prompts so you can fire your social media manager, right? Let's get these coins, y'all. All right, my name is Dr. Marcella Wilson from LearnAI and ChatGPT.com. Thank you so much for being here. My kids are home, so I'm going to spend time with them. You guys know that's the true meaning of life, spending time with your loved ones. And one of the things I do is I put my girls on the school bus every morning, and I'm here when they get home. I spend a lot of time with them. I go to all their games, everything. That's why I work, so I can be with them, right? Thank you guys so much for being here. God bless. Sign up today so you can get your bonuses. Thank you for registering, Lanita. Thank you for registering. I'm looking forward to working with you guys more. See you at the webinar next week. I'm out. Bye, guys. And watch Severance if you haven't already. Thanks for taking the time. Bye. Have a happy Friday, Junior. I'll send you guys the recording too. Bye, guys. All right, we'll close this out.